Page 5 now. The race for president just got a little more crowded. Two Republican candidates announced on Monday. Carly Fiorina, whose claim to fame is being the former CEO of Hewlett-Packard, and Dr. Ben Carson, retired neurosurgeon. So, how do these two rate among young Republican voters? According to a Harvard poll, Carson is most popular with 10% of the young people polled. Rand Paul second, 8%. Carly Fiorina dead last at 2%. Now, no doubt that these two are long shots. However, each could change the dynamic of the campaign, but for different reasons. Joining me now and filling in for Daily Ledger Page 5 girl Stephanie Marie is Maggie Litt. Maggie, I don't know about the chances of either Carson or Carly winning the Republican nomination, but I do think that they're going to offer some, I guess maybe some unique perspectives as part of the nomination process.
Well, Graham, Dr. Carson announced his candidacy Monday in an interview on an Ohio TV station, but says he'll have an official campaign launch event in Detroit today. Now, he has never run for political office, but Tea Party backers have pressured him to enter the race. He plans to use his success as an author and a speaker to launch a competitive campaign. Now, Carly Fiorina, deemed the anti-Hillary candidate, announced her candidacy just like Hillary in a tweet. Now, she says she's running for president because, quote, our founders never intended us to have a professional political class. And tomorrow she comes out with a new book.
And I'm willing to be a part of that equation, and therefore I am announcing my candidacy for President of the United States of America.
I'm running for president.
Our founders never intended us to have a professional political class. They believed that citizens and leaders needed to step forward. We know the only way to reimagine our government is to reimagine who is leading it.
So Carson faced criticism when he claimed Obamacare is the worst thing to happen to this country since slavery and compared the present-day America to Nazi Germany. Neither Fiorina nor Carson have widespread support among party officials and large fundraising bases enjoyed by their top-tier hopefuls.
Okay, let's look real quick at their platforms. We know Carly Fiorina. She went into Hewlett-Packard as CEO. She also ran for office in California and failed. But other than that, what does she stand for?
So Carly Fiorina has said if she is elected president, the first thing she's going to do is reach out to the Israeli prime minister and reassure him of our support and backing. She then said she's also going to contact Iranian officials and demand an open inspection of their nuclear programs or threaten U.S. sanctions.
Okay, so Ben Carson, we know, of course, has a medical background, and he has every right to criticize Obamacare, and he's certainly welcome to do so on this program anytime. What else does he stand for?
Well, like you said, he is a fierce opponent of Obamacare. He also is an opponent of stuff like political correctness and really just politicians as a whole. He is a free market advocate and actually points to the deregulation of Wall Street in the 90s as the root cause of our financial crisis.
He's a free spirit, too. Even though he's a very laid-back human being, I've talked with him a couple of times, he's also a free spirit and a very critical thinker, which is great for the campaign. Welcome to both of them as part of the Republican campaign. What else do you have on page 5?
Well, unlike President Obama, Hillary doesn't seem to be receiving the hoorays from Hollywood. Money seems to be drying up for Hillary's campaign. According to a Forbes magazine contributor, she has 3 Hollywood fundraisers set to kick off in the coming weeks. And some of the reason, no doubt, is the growing Clinton Foundation scandal. Bill Clinton says he has no regrets taking foreign cash donations for his foundation, and he's not worried about the public's perception of a conflict of interest between Hillary's presidential campaign and donations.
I don't think that I did anything that was against the interests of the United States.
Do you understand, though, that the perception itself is a problem?
No.
You don't?
No. Look, I don't want to get into the weeds here. I'm not responsible for anybody else's perception. I asked Hillary about this, and she said, you know, no one's ever tried to influence me by helping you. No one has even suggested they have a shred of evidence.
So under pressure from the Clintons recently said that they will only accept contributions from 6 Western governments. and they will come as close as they can to following the rules during her presidential campaign as they did when she was Secretary of State. Now, there is now a ban on accepting foreign money and a requirement to frequently update donor lists, which could slow these overseas contributions.
See, that's the Democrat talking points right there. There's not a shred of evidence. Well, there's not going to be any kind of shred of evidence because this was all done verbally, you know, with a wink and a nod and a quid pro quo that's very much under the table and under the radar. And this notion that the Clintons are going to follow the agreement that Hillary Clinton signed as part of the agreement to become Secretary of State with Barack Obama in 2009 is outrageous. They haven't followed the rules clearly here.
Right, and it's funny that the Clintons say that they're going to follow the rules just as they did when Hillary was Secretary of State, because media reports later revealed that the Clintons were receiving and accepting foreign donations at that time as well.
You know, it's fascinating to hear Bill Clinton speak on this, too, because it's clear to me by listening to him in that little soundbite that he has no clue the immensity of this problem and this scandal for not only himself, but for Hillary Clinton as a potential nominee for the Democrat Party for president. These people, in my opinion, are completely out of touch with reality. They're very, very wealthy now. They're flying around in these expensive private jets that are being, quote, donated to the foundation. It just seems as though that they're somewhat out of touch with the gravity of what's happening here.
Yeah, and actually, Bill said that it was laughable that people tried to pin their wealth as being out of touch with everyday Americans. He even went as far as to add that he has the lowest net worth of any 20th century president since Truman. However, PolitiFact looked into this and found that this wasn't true at all. Clinton actually is one of the wealthiest presidents of all time and is currently the wealthiest living president.
Yeah, and God bless him for that. That's fine. You know, you can make all the money you want in this country, but don't lie about it, please. Maggie, thank you. Coming up next, the attempted Texas massacre and its ties to radical Islam as the Daily Ledger continues.